Welcome to Passion for the Pastime, where baseball lives 24/7, 365. Catch conversations with beat writers, broadcasters, current and former players of all levels. Now here's your host,
Walter Icabalceta. Whoops, I fumbled. I got to get out of here.
Walter Icabalceta.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Passion for the Pastime, for the first time ever to be on YouTube. I am so excited and rocking new era. I see you, man. I wasn't late. I was waiting for you to show up and waiting for everybody else to show up in the chat because it's going to be a fun experience. This is a podcast that I have done for quite some time, actually. When I think about it, I think it goes back to 2018, 2019, I think is when I started this thing. And it was just kind of a means for me to get into my dream job, which is KMBR, where I'm currently at, and being a midday producer for Greg Papa and now Greg Silver. But then it was John Lund, the great John Lund. And yeah, man, it's something that I kind of put on the back burner last year because of all of the Giants pregame stuff that I was doing and the podcast that was all season long on Rounding Third and King. So I'll have all of those interviews up on the YouTube page as well, just so that you can see who we're going to be talking to as we get into this YouTube arena, if you will, because man, the things that KMBR has given me and the opportunities is just the just endless possibilities of people that you can talk to, guests, and in particular, I mean, when you look at just everybody in San Francisco, Susan Slusser, Andrew Baggerly, Rich Aurelia, the list goes on. Randy Wynn before he got promoted, no chance that I'd be able to get Randy Wynn. Maybe I don't know. I'm not going to shut that down just yet. I've seen him in mutual locations out here in the East Bay. So I don't know. Maybe we get a Randy Wynn, but that's just the endless opportunities that I bring to this podcast here with Passion for the Pastime. And again, like, I have love for all sports. I love football, love basketball, but baseball is my baby. That is my thing that I can really dive into. So I'm really looking forward to having this podcast and just doing baseball throughout the regular season with the Giants pregame and with the podcast that I would do on the weekends as well, Rounding Third and King. I realized that I missed it. Like, you go through a whole season of just generating content and getting out there and talking to everyone in the YouTube chat. And I know eventually we'll get all the regulars in here from those weekends because it was such a fun time. And you go a month, you go 2 months. I'm just like, man, you miss it. It almost became a part of you. And that's why I'm back here on YouTube to bring all this together in the off season so that we can bridge that gap into the regular season. But it's not going to stop there, man. Like, I'm going to do this every single day, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. You can expect to be here talking ball. We got Rockin' New Era in the chat. My own private pod with Walter. Yeah, man, you for sure are one of the diehards, man. So I appreciate you coming by and spending this time with me, because we're going to get into it, man. We're going to talk Giants baseball like no other. We're going to talk baseball in general, but if you're a seam head like myself, you're definitely in the right place. I mean, we're not only going to talk Giants baseball, we're going to talk baseball in the grand scheme of things. We're going to talk Dodgers, we're going to talk Yankees, and shit on the Dodgers and the Yankees. We don't have to praise them or anything. I'm laughing I'm just dying of laughter that Juan Soto did not go to A, the Yankees, and B, the Dodgers. I'm just loving that. So we'll get into that huge contract that just went down over the last 24 hours. But when you look at the Bay Area, the grand scheme of things, with the San Francisco Giants, Willy Adames, man, that was a huge signing for the San Francisco Giants. So we'll definitely dive into that. And Buster Posey did speak with beat reporters at the winter meeting. So did Bob Melvin. We have some updates on Jung-Hoo Lee. So we'll give you all of that as well on this episode, the first inaugural episode of Passion for the Pastime on YouTube. And we are live. Also, go ahead and give me a follow on X at Walleezy. That is WALLEEEZZY, all double letters except for the first two letters and the end. That might be a little confusing. Let me say it again. Walleezy at WALLEEEZZY. That's me on X. Go ahead and give me a follow so you don't miss out on any of the action, any of the fun stuff that we're going to be doing here on the podcast. Again, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. I'm just really excited to get this thing going, man. It's something that I have really wanted to do, but just other obligations and other responsibilities, it just kind of took me away from having that chance to do this. But with the stream on KMBR and that kind of getting thrown in there, I learned to love the YouTube realm, right? It's just the community that you have with the YouTube chat. So I see a lot of people in here chiming in. We got Lori Galvin in here. Hey, Walter. Hey, Lori. How's it going? True Blue Forever. Mike Val. What's up, Mike? Dude, I haven't heard from Mike in quite some time, so I'm excited to see you back in the chat. We got Perik Dappa. I don't is that a real? That's not the real Derek Papa, right? That's a fake account. That's a fake account because there's like 7 or 8 fake accounts of Derek Papa. I don't know which one's him anymore. So yeah, man. No, yes, exactly. Rocket New Era Live is where it's at, and that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be talking baseball again. We're going to talk Giants primarily because that's my baby. That I bleed orange and black, just like all the rest of you. But we'll definitely get into other stuff around the game of baseball. That golden at bat rule. We'll get into that. Maybe not today, but we'll talk about some stupid stuff that Rob Manfred and owners are cooking up here at the winter meetings. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but welcome to the YouTube chat. And also, if you don't want to look at my face, this will be available on podcast, wherever you get your podcast, on Spotify, on Apple Pods. It will be available the audio version. So go ahead and find those pages as well. Passion for the Pastime. My name is Walter Icabalceta. Again, if you don't know who I am, I work at KMBR, have been at KMBR since 2019. April 5th actually was my walk-in day. April 5th was my walk-in day to the sports leader in 2019, and just kind of gone from promotions assistant to board op to producer to occasionally being on the air. Definitely last year got thrown into that and loved every minute of it. And that's why we are here today. And we're definitely going to be talking some Giants baseball. Let's get into it. Let's just get on into it. Willy Adames comes to San Francisco, 7 years, $182 million. It looks like a steal. When you look at the grand scheme of things with the Juan Soto contract coming down, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But when you look at Willy Adames, I mean, you look at position players, right? And we'll get into the pitchers that are available. And there's a lot of rumors going around that the Giants are in on Corbin Burns, and they could potentially also be in on Roki Sasaki and also Max Fried. We'll get into all of that as far as where we are. I would love to see a Corbin Burns here, but what did happen is Buster Posey and the San Francisco Giants organization has surprised me. They have surprised me because when everything happened with Farhan, I buried the lead. Farhan's not here anymore. So I think myself and all Giants fans alike, we are excited for this new era of Giants baseball, just because it feels like there's someone competent in the driver's seat with Buster Posey. Now, I had my reservations. I don't know how everybody else feels about Buster Posey and the hiring. Obviously, Buster can do no wrong, right? And when it happened, you got to love the move because of who he is, Buster Posey. But with recent history, and I would love to get everybody's thoughts here in the YouTube chat, so go ahead and drop it down for me. But when Buster Posey got signed, was there a part of you in your head, in your mind, in your brain that thought this was a smokescreen? Was there any bit of doubt that you were like, love it, love Buster, but is this kind of a save face and please the fan base type move? That is how I felt initially right? And that is not a slight to Buster Posey. In my opinion, that is where that all came from, is just the distrust that you had with the organization. So that's what I jumped to. That is what I thought at the beginning of it all, right? And you go to the press conference. I was down there with Greg Papa and John Lund, and we interviewed Buster Posey. And then I started thinking, I was like, this guy seems really invested. He bleeds orange and black, and maybe there's a little bit of optimism. Maybe I'm a little bit optimistic with Buster Posey being there. But then you start seeing and hearing all of the, we already knew about Matt Chapman and his role that he had with bringing in quite arguably the best. Can we go ahead and say that the best free agent signing, obviously in the Farhan era, but in quite some time, with Matt Chapman coming in there and being that leader that this team desperately needed when Buster Posey was no longer on this team, when Brandon Crawford was no longer here, when Brandon Belt was elsewhere and in Toronto, my Blue Jays. Shout out to John Curley if he's in the chat. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. But when you look to all of that, you get a little nervous when you start to see that this organization had failed time and time and time again. But with Buster Posey coming in, you already get the sense of this being the dawn of a new era. It's a new era of Giants baseball. I think it's an era of Giants baseball that you can be optimistic for, because not only how he presents himself, how he sees the game, but what he knows. He knows what he knows, and he knows what he doesn't. And that is what you can see with all these hirings just around him, getting a GM. You can see that he is surrounding himself, and this is where he is putting himself in the best position possible to maximize his efforts in bringing San Francisco Giants baseball back to relevancy. And when you look to everything that he's done, he's surrounding himself with people that know things that he doesn't know. The baseball side of it, the scouting, right? He's bringing in guys that are experts in those categories that can help him along the way. So that's the first part of it, right? Or I guess that would be the second part, because the first part is the player interaction side and closing the deal, something that Farhan had never been able to do in his tenure with the San Francisco Giants. Got it done with Matt Chapman. Now you fast forward to the winter meetings, and we're getting into Willy Adames. And the reason why I love this move so much, and I know everyone was talking about Ha-Seong Kim and his relationship with Bob Melvin, and is that still a possibility? I mean, I don't know what the contract situation would look like, but is that still a possibility? Because you don't know what his timetable is coming back from his injury. I forget exactly what his injuries was, but I believe it was something with his shoulder. So you'll have to see. Maybe the Giants buy low on that. And I mean, he does fit the mold of a Giant, a reclamation project, right? Somebody that is hurt that you can buy low and you can maximize their return in the season coming up. And maybe that's a deal. I don't know if we're going to still get the player opt-outs like we did with the Farhan era, but that'll be something interesting to see if that develops. But Ha-Seong Kim was always linked to the Giants. And that was one where you were kind of like, all right. I mean, if that's what you're going to get, if that's what we're going to do, then sure, let's do it, because it's better than what we've had and what we currently have in the organization. But then Willy Adames became a real possibility, and then ultimately signed that 7-year deal, $182 million deal with Buster Posey with the Giants. And the reason why I love that deal is because it shows the Giants are not playing around anymore. They're not going to, and would we love to have Juan Soto? Well, not at that price, not at $15 million, $765 million. Did anyone think for a second that Juan Soto was going to get more money than Shohei Ohtani? No chance. I didn't think that at all. So when you look to the position players, right? Juan Soto was the top guy. And in years past, I mean, what did the Giants do? They went after Aaron Judge. Didn't happen. Pie in the face. All right, let me go. We got to scramble. We got to get something. We got to. This is Farhan speaking. We got to do something. We have to get something from this offseason to make it look like, we tried our best. Let's go get Mitch Haniger and Ross Stripling and Michael Conforto. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? That was a scramble drill if I've ever seen one. Then you fast forward, Shohei Ohtani. How many people really legitimately thought that either, Aaron Judge, there was a little bit of a possibility. But who the hell thought that Shohei Ohtani was going to come to San Francisco? The writing had been on the wall. He played in Anaheim. He played with the Angels. Why would he leave? He's just crossing town to a much better team. And look what it got him. It got him a World Series already. So did anyone really think that Shohei Ohtani was going to come to the San Francisco Giants? I don't think so. I didn't. But they tried, right? Oh, man, we went after Aaron Judge. We tried. We missed. But here's what we got. We didn't come up short-handed, empty-handed. Then they go Shohei Ohtani. Oh, damn. We were so close. We offered all that we could. So close. We just couldn't close the deal. But here, let me get you Matt Chapman, which I love the move. Blake Snell, which at the time, loved the move. Matt Chapman, Blake Snell, and Jorge Soler. Jorge Soler was still kind of iffy on that one. I didn't like it when it happened, and yeah, it clearly didn't pan out. But that's what this organization was doing. That's what they had done in the past. But now you look to Buster Posey with Willy Adames, and the reason why I love it, I was trying to tell you, but then I had to paint this whole picture. That's me. I like to tell stories. I like to paint a whole picture. I like to talk. I'll get to the chat here in a second. But when you look to Willy Adames and what it means for the Giants, it sends a message to the league, to the fan base, that Buster Posey, that the San Francisco Giants are here to play. They mean business. And that's what you get with this new regime, with this new era of Giants baseball. But the other reasons why I love it is because in the past, you would have waited after the big fish, after you went after him, right? Giants are all in on Juan Soto, and then they don't get it and they have pie in their face. Then what happens is, if this was to wait out, if Willy Adames didn't get signed at the time that he did, and Juan Soto ends up going to the Mets, well, those teams, the Yankees, 100% the Dodgers, and that's the reason why I love it, because the Dodgers were in on Willy Adames as well, is that you keep him out of LA. LA doesn't need any other help. Blake Snell, kick rocks. I could care less about Blake Snell. But when you look to that move and the timing of it, it was a masterclass. It's as if Buster Posey knows and has people in his ear that know what the hell they're doing. And that's a sense that you didn't get from the San Francisco Giants prior. So now you look to Willy Adames. He comes in here. He adds so much. He's not a slouch with the glove. I don't care what anyone has said. He is fantastic. His manager, Pat Murphy, came out there and pretty much gave all the praise in the world, saying that in a big situation with the glove, that's who you want to handle the ball. In a big situation at the plate, that's who you want in the batter's box. Willy Adames brings so much to this team that has eluded this team since the likes of Hunter Pence, since the likes of Buster Posey. I mean, up until Matt Chapman came on here, there was a huge void in this lineup. And I know the analytics, and I know everyone, 2021, and that was a great year. Analytics were working for a season. But when you look to everything else, the Giants just didn't have it. They needed this type of player. He brings power. I don't know if he can get it into the cove. Everyone's like, oh, man, he can hit it into the cove with regularity. I don't know if he could do that on a regular. But he has so much power that when you start looking at the lineup is starting to take shape. I'm not saying that this is it. I'm not saying that this team is a playoff team. There needs to be other moves. What other moves is that? We'll definitely dive into that. But when you look to Willie Adames, you'll slot him in there in the 3 spot, maybe the 4. Then that puts Matt Chapman in his rightful spot in the 5 or the 6. You would love to get another power bat. Is that Pete Alonso? Is that a trade for Vlad Jr.? I've been saying this. I've been saying that for months. I'm trying to make it a possibility with Vlad Jr. coming over. I got a Vlad Jr. bobblehead right here. Just waiting to paint that helmet black. Give him a little orange on there. I don't like the blue. I remember one time on Giants warm up, someone called me out on it. It was like, "Hey, dude, you got a Dodger bobblehead on your desk?" No, man, it's Vlad Jr. And he was I forget who it was. But then I told him it was Vlad Jr. He was like, "Oh yeah, love the Guerreros, love those guys." But man, Willie Adames, it is a huge position for the Giants to bring him in here. And again, it adds so much credibility. Excuse me. Adds so much credibility to this Giants organization moving forward, moving into this future without Farhan Zaidi. So I'm going to go to the chat. I'm going to see what everybody's saying because I just went on my Greg Papa rant for about, we've been on this thing for 20 minutes. So sorry guys. I really got into my feelings talking about Willie Adames. So let's go ahead and go through the chat. Oh, hey there, Walter. Yeah, that's Perik Dappa. I still don't know if that's the real Derek or if that's a fake Derek or maybe it's Greg Papa. Maybe that's his burner account. Live is where it's at. Yes, sir. Rocket New Era. Let's see what else is going on here. Dad's birthday. Happy birthday to Papa Mike Val. Happy birthday there. Dad's birthday. Harmony operator. What the hell's going on here? What are you guys doing? AJ Cruz, what's up, dude? What's up? Good to see you in the chat. 100%. Let's see. Remove someone hated with someone you love. Who's this? AJ Cruz. Yes, you remove someone hated with someone you love and hope their steak to the sizzle. Yeah, man. 100%. Half the amount of Correa. Yeah, how about that? Just wasn't that a blessing in disguise? I mean, we were all just burning Farhan Zaidi for not pulling the trigger on Carlos Correa. We're like, well, no, we want him. We need him. Yeah, I think Giants, that was the deal that really went their way, 100%. Personally, I thought in that moment he was doing it to run the team, not necessarily because he had that in mind, but because he's a lifer. Had to. All right, Mike. Yeah, man. Again, I was very, very, I guess, cautiously optimistic when Busher came into the fold, but loving what we're seeing here in the early returns, especially ahead of the winter meetings and into the winter meetings as well. We got Ernie Chavez in the chat. Put out the word, Walter. We back. Yes, Ernie. Yes. Appreciate the support. 100%. We got Lori in the chat as well. Super happy Buster stepped up. At first, I thought it was too good to be true. I think everyone thought that it was too good to be true with Buster Posey. I think that everybody was just so happy that Farhan was gone, but then it took it to another level when Buster Posey was named the president of operations. That was just icing on the cake. But yeah, it did seem too good to be true. Farhan the Spy. Yeah, is everybody buying that? Is that still something that's floating around X? Everybody was talking about. And I'm sorry. I remember something in the YouTube chat when I was doing Giants warm up. I will chuckle from time to time, and if I sound like Farhan Zaidi, I apologize. I can't control it. That is just. He laughs like me. What could I say? But Farhan the Spy, yeah, you have a point, Rockin'. You got a point. Ernie, I think Derek calls you Ernie too. There's so many Ernies in here. Mike Val, let's see. Let's go through the chats here. Oh man, AJ Pollock. Yeah, God, who remembers AJ Pollock coming to the Giants? What a horrible time. Yeah, it's it's definitely a better regime. Lori Galvin in here. Vladimir. Oh yes. We love it. We love it. AJ Cruz caught monologuing. Yeah. Hey, you know what? When you work with when you've worked with the king of monologuing for what, 3.5 years now? I don't even remember how long I've been working with Papa, but yeah, I guess you get carried away a little bit. But appreciate you surviving through it. For the show, AJ Cruz. Love AJ Cruz in here, man. Love the chat. 100%. Conforto with the Dodgers. It's all Farhan's fingerprints, dude. 100%. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring my guy because I was right about that. Yeah, all right, whatever. You can have him. I wonder how many people were calling Michael Conforto. I mean, like how many people were calling for Mitch Haniger? I mean, yeah, God, man, Farhan. I'm so happy that Farhan is gone. 100%. Don't sleep on Gerard Encarnacion, dude. I'm not sleeping on him. I'm actually excited. When I saw the lineup, and we'll get into the lineup projections. I think Fox put it out there. Maybe it was an MLB account. No, it was MLB Network. Yeah, it was MLB Network. I didn't see Gerard Encarnacion in there. I saw Elliot Ramos in there at the DH. I would like to see Gerard Encarnacion in the DH or in the outfield or at first base. We'll go through this lineup because I didn't really like it. You can see where the glaring hole is, and no shot to Lamont Wade Jr. But I think that analytical approach with Lamont Wade, and he gets on base, and I did like when he was leading off, and he was kind of a table setter, and that was especially when Jung-Hoo Lee wasn't there anymore, and Tyler Fitzgerald kind of took a dive a little bit. It came off of his hot performances, but yeah, when you looked at Lamont Wade Jr., I just think that time has come and gone. I like him. He's a great guy. He's a great player, but to be your first baseman, if we're categorizing what a position should be, and I know that it's an analytical era, and yeah, you talk about on base percentage and OPS and all of that, and Lamont Wade Jr. crosses a lot of those boxes for that. But number one, can't stay healthy, so you want to have someone in the lineup that you can count on every single day, and that's kind of the thing that goes over to Buster Posey with his way of thinking. He wants to get back to that everyday type player. And I just don't know if Lamont Wade Jr. is that guy, and he just doesn't bring what the position of first base is, which is a power bat. That's why you want to go out there. I saw a couple of people talk about Paul Goldschmidt. I'm good. I don't want Paul Goldschmidt. I don't want, he's in the twilight of his career. He's going to the Hall of Fame. I can't stomach that. I would love to see a Pete Alonso, but I don't know if there's going to be enough money there. You never know what Steve Cohen's going to do with the Mets, especially going in on Juan Soto at that price. Does that price? I mean, you would think it, just logically thinking that price is Pete Alonso out of returning to the Mets, but there's no telling with what the hell the Mets are going to do with just opening up the wallet. So that kind of scares things. I think I was reading a article at the end of the year. Pete Alonso, I guess he grew up like a Mets fan, or like his grandfather was a Mets fan. He grew up like nearby or something like that. So when I read that, I was like, he's not coming to the Giants. There's no chance in that happening. But yeah, so that is the position in need, because when you look at the lineup after the Willy Adames signing, this is how it reads as per the projections from MLB Network. You got Jung-Hoo Lee hitting leadoff, which I like. I think that the injury was a huge blow. I believe that happened on Mother's Day weekend. I think it happened on Mother's Day is when he slammed into that wall in right center field and popped out his shoulder. I think I was doing the show that day. Jung-Hoo Lee hitting leadoff in center field. You got Tyler Fitzgerald at second base, batting second. Willie Adames batting third at shortstop. Lamont Wade Jr. Again, that's when you look at this lineup, and I'm currently looking at it, and I'll find a way to put it up on the YouTube in due time. This is all new to me, guys. But Willie Adames batting third, shortstop. Lamont Wade Jr. first base, batting cleanup. I mean, he just doesn't scream a cleanup hitter. That's just not what you think when you look and hear about Lamont Wade Jr. Now does he have trade value? He probably does for a team that is looking for someone that can get on base and can set the table, but he's not a four hitter, man. Like at best, you can hit him at the top of the lineup because he'll set the table. But I mean, Lamont Wade Jr. might be more suited for like a 6 or a 7. Like I don't like him in the 4 hole. That's just me. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but Matt Chapman in the 5 hole at third base, Gold Glove winning Matt Chapman. Mike Yastrzemski in right field, batting 7th. Elliot Ramos. Oh, I'm sorry, he's batting 6th. Chapman batting 5th. Can't count. Elliot Ramos batting 7th in the DH spot. I'd rather have him in the field. Patrick Bailey batting 8th, catching, and Grant McCray in the 9 spot in left field. I don't know how I feel about Grant McCray in the starting lineup, opening day lineup. He showed flashes. He has speed. If he can get on base, I would assume that he would have the green light to just swipe a bag. But the point is, can he get on base? Can he do it at a regular pace? So it's going to be really interesting to see what the Giants end up doing, because Willie Adames, again, it's a great move with the timing of everything, and when you look to how this team is kind of forming and the statement that it makes, but they can't be done. They can't be done. Now, whether that is going out there and getting another bat, trading for a bat. I mean, I could see them getting really creative and making some trades. I don't know if Kyle Tucker is anybody that the Giants can pry away from the Astros. I know that there's been a lot of trade rumors for the winter meetings, but I don't think that's going to happen. But maybe there's a way for the Giants to get Vlad Jr. Maybe that's a pipe dream. I've been talking about it for quite some time. Maybe that's a pipe dream. But the way that I see it is, if the Giants were to go out there and get Corbin Burns, and we'll get to Buster Posey's comments earlier today, live from the winter meetings. We had Andrew Bagley on earlier the show. He had to jet out because he had to go find the conference room that Buster Posey was in prior to or after our interview with Papa and Silver. But he put out some stuff on there and some tweets based on Buster Posey and what he was talking about. And I would love to see Corbin Burns in a Giants uniform. Would absolutely love that, because what that would potentially do is you get Corbin Burns, that fills the void of Blake Snell no longer being in your rotation. Then you start looking at what the rotation can potentially be. You have Logan Webb, you have Corbin Burns, you have Kyle Harrison, Robbie Ray, and Hayden Birdsong. I know Landon Roop. I love Landon Roop, but I don't know if you want to go through another season of relying on young pitchers. It didn't pan out well before. I know we also have Jordan Hicks. How many innings can he put out there again? I mean, we saw when he started to creep up to that 100 innings pitched mark, that he just tailed off. And it's his first season. I understand that, and maybe he can get on a program to kind of build up that arm strength, and maybe he can go deeper. I saw a projection that had Jordan Hicks at 130 innings. I think that's a little too much. I don't know if we could expect 130 out of Jordan Hicks, but hey, I would love to be wrong. But when you look at the Giants pitching rotation. Kyle Harrison. Oh, I loved Kyle Harrison. I still do. I think that he has a lot of potential. But is that potential still a top of the rotation guy? Is he a 2? I think he's maybe leaning more towards a 4 or a 5, honestly. So when you start looking at that, the Giants and Buster Posey, they are expecting big things out of their young pitchers. To where Buster Posey goes out there and pretty much makes a declaration. Not really a declaration. That's a bit much. But he praises the young pitchers in the organization. Just pulling up the tweet right now. But he was praising the young pitchers in the organization and that he feels that they are in a good spot for the rotation. Here we go. Shayna Rubin put out a tweet earlier today on the starting rotation, on the starting pitching front. Buster Posey, speaking to reporters in Dallas, said the Giants have a lot of belief in their internal options. That's Kyle Harrison, Ed Birdsong, taking a big step forward this coming season. Now, if you're reading between the lines, I mean, does that necessarily mean that the Giants are not going after Corbin Burnes or Roki Sasaki or Max Fried? I wouldn't necessarily say that, but they have hopes in their starting rotation, in their young guys in particular. So, again, you would love to have Corbin Burnes. You would love to have any of those three that I just mentioned. Roki Sasaki, who just got posted today. We'll talk about that a little bit. But I just, if you go into the season with that rotation, the one that I just read out with Webb, Harrison, Robbie Ray, Birdsong, Jordan Hicks, whatever combination you want to put in there, I just don't think that that's enough to compete. Definitely not with the Dodgers. But again, you have to not go into this as, I mean, yeah, everyone wants to win the division, but look at what the Dodgers have down there. There's no competing with that. But you have to compete for an opportunity to get into the postseason. And something that has been preached for a decade plus, ever since the Giants started winning World Series. What was that formula? It was pitching and defense. Huge emphasis on the pitching. So if they can go out there and get a Corbin Burnes or get a Max Fried, Roki Sasaki, I think that's one of those guys that is a pipe dream. He's most likely going to go to one of the big three. Looking at Corbin Burnes and Max Fried, he's going to go to either the Yankees or he's going to go to the Dodgers or who was it? John Heyman put out a tweet earlier today stating that the Dodgers and the Padres are huge, heavy, clear and heavy favorites for the Japanese pitcher Roki Sasaki. So that would be horrible because you're not only not getting him, but he's going to someone in the division. And God forbid that he goes to the Dodgers. I will lose my mind if that is something that happens. But what better way to counter that move than getting you one for yourself? They got Willy Adames. Love the move, but it can't end there. So what other things can they do? You bring in a Batman and Superman, because I was going to say Batman and Robin, but I mean, Corbin Burnes is no Robin. He is good. And when you look at what he can do, he has the same mentality wise. I know different style pitchers, but he has the mentality. He has the bulldog in him like Logan Webb does. Then you'd have two of those guys. That's why I say a Batman and Superman type deal, because they're both equally strong, but they're different. So I would love to see Corbin Burnes on the Giants. I think that when you start looking to all of the possibilities as far as how this offseason can go, when you look to the Dodgers, I mean, they're making moves. They brought in Blake Trinan. They or not brought in, but they brought him back. They went and got Michael Conforto. It still remained to be seen if they do bring back Teoscar Hernandez, but I think that he's going to go elsewhere. Anthony Santander, he's probably going to end up going to maybe the Yankees if it hasn't already happened. I haven't looked at my breaking news. I haven't had breaking news recently. Jake Peavy detail. What's going on here? Oh, Jake Peavy talking about Buster Posey's first big move. Love Jake Peavy. Might have him on the podcast. That's the other thing, man. I just love talking to all these old school baseball players. We'll definitely get them on the pod. We'll definitely get them on there. Get Javi on here ASAP. But yeah, man. I mean, when you look to the Giants and their starting rotation, that is, I think, where the next step of emphasis should be. I know that you want to improve the offense, and maybe that's something that can still happen. But the starting rotation, again, if you go into it with all these young guys, I just don't know longevity wise. Like, can you rely on them to make this something other than what happened last year? And that is all these young guys, I mean, just not panning out and not being able to pitch big league amount innings. So it's going to be really interesting. And if you do get Corbin Burns, you keep him away from your division. You keep him away from the Dodgers. I don't know if the Dodgers are in on him, but they're definitely in on Roki Sasaki. If Sasaki goes to the Padres, I can see the Dodgers doubling down and going after Corbin Burns. So you want to get this done as soon as possible. And don't want to get into a bidding war, because if you get into a bidding war and the money's close, why would anyone pick the Dodgers over the Giants? Let's just be honest. I'm just saying. They just won a World Series, and maybe there's a competitive factor, but if the money's close and you want to win, that sounds like a no-brainer to me. But Corbin Burns, if you're able to bring him in here, then you can offset a lot of what your division can and potentially will do this offseason, especially with Max Fried and Roki Sasaki in the fold. Let's get into Roki Sasaki just a little bit. I did mention John Heyman put out that tweet earlier today that Roki Sasaki, his potential favorite heavy hitters, as he put it, his clear heavy favorites in the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes are the Padres and the Dodgers. But I mean, when you look to all these teams, the Baltimore, I almost said the Baltimore Ravens, the Baltimore Orioles, the Boston Red Sox, the Yankees, the Giants, you name it, they're in the starting pitching market. And you know, I don't know what type of money we're looking at with Roki Sasaki, but Corbin Burns and Max Fried, I mean, it's going to be over 200 mil. So and again, if Roki Sasaki goes in there and does like a deal like Shohei Ohtani did and gets all that deferred money, Roki Sasaki doesn't have the endorsements like Ohtani did. So I don't know if we're going to see deferments on a deal of that magnitude ever again in this sport. There'll be like small deferments, but I don't think that it'll be anything close to what Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers did last year. I think that was such a bad move for baseball, but that's a whole nother conversation. But Roki Sasaki, he is officially posted, and what that means is now the window for negotiation is open for him to start negotiating with teams. I believe it officially opens tomorrow, and teams are going to be able to have the opportunity to bid for his services. And what that does is, or it opens up a 45-day window to where the deadline for Roki Sasaki to sign with a big league club is January 23rd at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, we're gonna see probably nothing happen from Roki Sasaki in the next month or so. But when we come back from holiday break, right? When we come back from Christmas and the New Year, and you get into that second week of January, that's probably where it's going to pick up steam. But Roki Sasaki, he's going to be one of those highly coveted, highly wanted, highly sought out arms in free agency But I feel like Corbin Burns and Max Fried will probably land first before Roki Sasaki gets his deal. So it's going to be really interesting to follow that. And Juan Soto, man, I mean, that was a huge deal that went down over the last 24 hours. Juan Soto getting that huge contract, history-making contract, 15 years, $765 million. That is massive. Again, if you asked me at the beginning of the offseason, I think the projected number was like somewhere around 600, 650, 660, and he goes well above that. And what was that deal that he turned down? I want to say he turned down I don't remember if it was a 15-year, but it was definitely, I want to say $440 million he turned down at that time with the Washington Nationals, and that's where they ended up moving him to the Padres and all that noise. But he ends up, I mean, he bet on himself and shit, good for him, man. He ends up getting 300 million more than what that offer was. So it's really interesting to, damn, we just got I just looked at the chat. We got a whole bunch of Derek's in here. Who are these people? Rockin' New Era. Ernie, tell me who is Tacky one of these? Is Tacky one of these one of these Derek accounts? It's crazy. The real me. Yeah, no, I'm not buying that. PV like a coach? What? Oh man, you got the real Derek Papa. What is this? Real Derek Papa here. Good evening, Walter. Enjoying the show. Where do you guys find these pictures? That's my thing. Like, where are you guys finding these pictures of Derek? I gotta find more. Gotta find more of these. Yeah. Oh hell yeah. That's definitely not Derek. That's definitely not the Derek account. Funny enough, I posed the same way when Ice Cube came into the studio not too long ago to promote the big three, and Derek gave me shit for it. So eat, as Tacky would say, eat S, Derek. Oh, there it is. Got one right here. Hey, Danny Dunn, my guy. What's up, Danny? Didn't know Danny was in here. Missing that guy. Miss Danny. Derek has been cloned. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, please stand up. Oh, you guys are killing me. This is hilarious. But how are you guys feeling? Honestly, I know I've been talking this whole podcast because that's the Derek verse. Hell yeah, dude. I've been talking this whole podcast because that's the point. I'm supposed to be talking. But what is everybody's thoughts on the Giants? Honestly, does the move for Willie Adames, does that kind of rejuvenate you a little bit? Does that psych you up? Do you think that there's more on the horizon, or is this kind of a one-off? Is this over and done with? Got some questions, Walter. Scroll up. All right. Pop. Who is this? Perik Dapa. I can't even say that correctly. Oh, let me see here. Where are your questions? How about this? Make it easy on me and just type in your questions again. I'm making you work for this answer. How about that? There has to be more. Yeah, Rockin' New Era, dude. You got that 100%. And that's what I think too. I think that there definitely needs to be more. But what is the more? What is the more? Like what do the Giants need to do? Because again, when we were going through that lineup, when you look at first base, right? DH, you can use help in the outfield, corner outfield. I mean, do you want to solidify that starting rotation like I was talking about? I mean, I think that's kind of the route that I'm going. That's the route that I'm going. Would you trade for Garrett Crochet? Perik Dapa. Would you trade for Garrett Crochet or Luis Gil? I probably wouldn't. Just because trading for a pitcher, I don't think is what the Giants model is. If they were to make a trade, then the trade would be for a bat. They have plenty of pitching and they have young pitching, but that's why I'm saying you get a Corbin Burns, you get a Max Fried. Who the hell's Alex Fried? You get a Max Fried, you get Corbin Burns, who is at the top of that pecking order. If you can get Roki Sasaki, cool, but I'm not counting on that. But Corbin Burns, that's why it's so huge in that you keep him away from any other team in your division that are looking at starting pitching. And what that also does is that allows you the tools, because if you lock up Corbin Burns for, let's just say 220, 240, 250, that's a huge range, but 220 to 250 for 6 years. You don't need Carson Wisenhunt. You don't need Landon Root. You don't need Keaton Wynn, who I thought was actually a decent pitcher. Then he started tipping pitches. I think where was that? I think that was in Boston, and he just got rocked, and then we never saw him again. That was just terrible. But I like Keaton Wynn. I was actually high on Keaton Wynn before he got called up, because he got called up before Kyle Harrison did last year or 2 years ago. Because I used to work for the Rivercats, so I used to see these guys on a regular basis. So I really like Keaton Wynn. But again, you got all these young guys. I don't think that you need to trade for a pitcher. If you're going to make a trade, you're going to use that excess pitching to get a bat, which is something that has eluded the Giants prior to this Willy Adames signing. So that's my thoughts on that. Peric Dappa. All right, let's see here. All right, let's settle this once for all. Walter, ask a question only the real Derek would know. Okay. All right. Only the real Derek would know. All right. Derek, what did you sing me on my birthday last year? Everybody get that one? That's an Elf reference. Been watching a whole bunch of Christmas movies. We'll get into Christmas movies when it gets closer to Christmas. Everybody's favorite. If you had to pick one, see, Rocket New Era. If you had to pick just one more position of need, what would you pick? Pitcher or first base? Oof. Honestly, the real ones that know, and I'm not saying that Rocket New Era isn't a real one. He knows. Everybody knows me. I am a sucker for pitching. So I would always lean to pitching, especially for this ballpark. That's just the way it is. That's the way of the world. That's the way of Giants baseball. That's how you won 3 championships, is pitching. And first base, I know everybody's talking about Bryce Eldridge. He maybe scratches the surface and gets to the big leagues this September. Maybe. He's going to start the year. Where did he end up last year? He ended in Richmond, got a couple at bats because the season ended. So yeah, he went to Sacramento. I think he only had like maybe a game, maybe 2 games with the River Cats. So he'll start in Richmond. He kind of had a quick ascension through the minor leagues, but was that, I mean, nothing against him. I mean, he was doing really good. He was actually, I was just going to say, him going through the minor leagues, was that really because he was hitting the shit out of the ball? Or was that because Farhan was trying to plead a case as like, dude, I got this other guy coming. Got this other guy coming. You can't get rid of me. I don't know. I don't know. That's just the drama side of my brain that I'm looking at. But Bryce Eldridge, again, he's kind of far away, but he's a first baseman, but you can't bank on him. Like, you have to go with what you have right now, and that's Lamont Wade Jr. And yes, I would love to have an upgrade at that position. Why can't they get both? That's my question. Why can't they get both? Why can't they go get Corbin Burns and then trade for a first baseman? Vlad Jr. I'm just going to keep saying it until it happens. I'm going to keep saying it until it happens. I also saw Luis Robert is out there. Obviously, he's been floated around. He's not a first baseman, but he's been floated around trade rumors for like the past 2 seasons with the White Sox. Who knows what the hell the White Sox are doing? But Luis Robert would be good in the outfield. But yeah, pitcher or first baseman, I always lean pitchers. I would always lean pitchers when it comes to the Giants and to this ballpark and what they need. Young guys are good. I would like to see another Bulldog out there to match the energy of our leader Logan Webb. Mike Val, Mike, dude, I miss you, bro. Miss talking to Mike every weekend. Feel like we're on the same wavelength as management, and Adames was a major league statement. So Burns Vlad Bueller, Carson Kelly. All right, if you had to pick one, Mike, who would you want? Burns or Vlad? Or I mean, in my scenario, you get both. But who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? I think the answer is easy to me. Burns has pitched 650 innings. Peric Dappa since 2021. Are we worried about Tommy John? That's a good point. But no, I wouldn't be. And I don't know who that is in the picture. That is definitely not Derek's eyes. I don't know who that is. That's definitely not Derek's eyes. No, I mean, of course, you got to be worried about Tommy John when the innings count gets up there. But I mean, are we worried about Tommy John for Logan Webb? I'm knocking on wood right now. Are we worried about that? He's an innings eater. He's been doing it for years. And I mean, luckily we haven't had to cross that bridge, but there's just some guys, and I think it's also based on the style of pitcher. And I think that the style of pitcher for Logan Webb and for Corbin Burns, it just doesn't call for that extra stress on your arm. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to take that into consideration. I hear you there, but that wouldn't stop me from signing him. Again, it's not my money. So if you ask me if you ask me real financial advice, oh man, I will always go with the cheaper option. When I want two things and I'm like, oh man, I don't know which one to take. I go and look at the back or the price. That's the one. I always pick the cheaper one. That's just me. Maybe I'm cheap. But now when it comes to spending other guys' money, I don't give a damn. I'll go top shelf tequila. Somebody's buying me a shot. Top shelf tequila. Shout out John Dickinson. Next time he asks me for a drink or to go out for a drink, I'm gonna make him get me some top shelf tequila shots. 100%. Okay. All right. Dude, wait, that's AJ Cruz. I was about to say Peric Dappa keeps changing his damn picture. He used to work for the River Cats. I did. He used to be a talent evaluator. No. No, I used to work in the control room. I was essentially a glorified DJ for all the players. I remember oh man, God, I'm forgetting his name. Not a weird guy. Ah, man, I can't. Oh, Isan Diaz. Dude, I remember. Okay, so when he was, damn, I just kicked my camera. Sorry, got all excited talking about the River Cats. Isan Diaz, when he was with the team, he was going through a rough stretch, and he requested that there be no walk-up music played when he goes from the on-deck circle to the batter's box. And me, just being the smartass that I am, I'm just like, I'm gonna play it. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play a good song too. I played like some Pitbull or Daddy Yankee. I don't know. Played some hype song. And what's he do? He rips a triple. But he stopped. He stopped before he got into the box and looked up at the control room. And I just kind of like looked at him. I didn't want him to know it was me, but I looked at him. I didn't make any acknowledgement that it was me that pushed the button. But I looked at him. He probably knew it was me. I don't know. He probably didn't care. Well, he did care. He was pissed. Because after his triple, I was such an idiot, man. After his triple, he's on third base, and then he looks up there, and then I just kind of go like this. I just gonna give him a peace sign. I was like, bro, come on, man, you're fine. Superstitious. Baseball players are the most superstitious human beings in life. 100%. Lori Galvin, and that's my River Cat story of the day. Got a few of those. Lori Galvin chimes in. Power bat at first base who can hit fourth. Yep. Pitcher go into the 7th. Yeah, that's the thing, man. You want to get grinders. You want to get bulldogs. You want to get guys that are. I wish we could just clone Logan Webb. Just give me 4 Logan Webbs and we'd be good. We'd win a World Series every single year. Happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? Did I miss something? Whose birthday is it? Happy birthday, of course. Bird song. All right, man. Well, we're getting close to the end of this hour. Again, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing these. I guess I'll just do it as long as everybody wants to hang out. I don't have time restraints, but it is getting to that time. My girlfriend is probably just waiting for me. She's probably pissed right now. No, she's watching. She's a proud supporter of the podcast. But I do got to get back down there, watch some Christmas movies, see what's going on. Got to replace Snell. Yeah, that's the thing, man. You got to replace Snell. I could care less about him. He's kind of in the back of my mind now that he is a Dodger. I mean, whatever. How did everybody feel about that too? Like, did everybody care that Blake Snell went to the Dodgers? Or are we kind of like numb to it at this point? I was kind of numb to it, but then I was kind of pissed, and then I didn't care. Like, I was pissed for like maybe 5 minutes. It was longer than that. I was pissed for like 2 days, and then I was just like, all right, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see here. Just watch The Hangover. That's a good movie. It's a good movie. One of my favorite comedies out there. Oh man. Glad Walter has noticed my sweet baby blues. You would know Derek's eyes. All right. I would. I peer into them every day. Every time he comes in, we just kind of have a staring contest. I always win. Walter, if you see employees of non-sports leader stations at Giants games, do you guys shake hands or do you have beef? Dude, we thug it out. We definitely go. Oh yeah, we thug it out, dude. It's a turf war. You know what I mean? Like we just stare at each other. No, it's all love. I don't know a lot. I don't know a lot of the non-sports leader nation. But I do know a few, and the few that I know, I got love for. So put that out there. We need no need unless Tom Murphy is moved. What is that in relation to? Oh, for Carson Kelly. Gotcha. All right. Oh, I just saw a comment on there that I'm not going to expose. But yes. Just saying that. Leave it there. All right, guys. Well, I call Greg right now. Greg who? Greg Silver or Greg Papa? I'm gonna get Greg Papa on the show. You guys want that? You guys wanna get down with G Pop? He'll do it. He loves me. I'll definitely do it. I will. Without a doubt. All right. Well, I think I caught up to the comments. Is there anything else that we need to get into? I think we're good for tonight. We'll definitely be doing this every single night this week and weekdays, 6:00. Be here, smack on time. I wasn't late. Rocking New Era. Jeez, I was late like 45 seconds. My God. I was sitting here. Honestly, you want to know what I was doing? I was sitting here for like 10 minutes, just watching the countdown. I'm just like, all right, I just gotta wait for the KMBR stream to kind of end. Wait for everybody to get into Krug, and then I'll fire my thing off. I was just waiting. I was waiting for everybody to congregate. Just waiting for everybody. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys did too. I look forward to it. It was a lot of fun, and definitely doing it live. It makes it a lot more enjoyable because before I used to just do this podcast in this same room. I'd be calling up people. We'd be talking ball, and it was fun. It was enjoyable. But to have this live interaction with you guys, and especially Those of you that I know and that I've met, Rockin' New Era, AJ, Ernie Chavez, bro. I haven't met you yet, man. Like we gotta go out and we gotta link up. We gotta do a meet and greet. I know you guys did that for Just Your Opinion, man. So we'll do that with the passion for the Pastimers. How about the Pastimers? That's what I'll call you guys, the Pastimers. But yeah, man. No, thanks to everybody for stopping by this first episode of the podcast. It was definitely a lot of fun. I look forward to doing it every single day during the week, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the dot. Be here. I'll be here. Beat Rockin' New Era to the spot because he was the first person in the chat, first like. So that's the homework assignment. Beat Rockin' New Era to the party tomorrow, 6:00 p.m. We'll talk about more winter meetings. Maybe there will be more rumblings on Corbin Burns. Maybe we'll hear something on the pitching market. Roki Sasaki, maybe some more leaks. That's the other thing too. No leaks from the Giants. I mean, people are talking about Roki Sasaki and teams that are in on him. We know the Giants are in on him, but they aren't listed as one of those teams. And I think that's just a testament to how this new regime is just. I really look forward to it. I'll end it here. Because if I keep talking, I'm just gonna keep going. I could talk for days. But Del Cielo, yes, Rockin' New Era, dude. We'll do that. Maybe I'll do a show from Del Cielo. I'll talk to him. Maybe we'll do that. Get a sponsored round of beers. No, okay, I'm getting too ahead of myself. But all right, everybody, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna go watch some Christmas movies and get ready for tomorrow. I'll be at KMBR and I'll be in the chat as well during the middays 10 to 2 with Greg Papa and Greg Silver, my two Gregs. Shout out Rockin' New Era, always giving me that content. But you guys have a good one. Thank you all for stopping by. I look forward to doing this every single day. Again, Monday through Friday, 6:00 p.m. And if you miss it, there is an audio version and it'll live on YouTube. This will be on YouTube forever until the day I die. So you guys have a good one. Be safe, and we'll talk next time.